Hey guys, so this is another Who to Summon video, and my apologies for so long for a video. I've been spending pretty much the entire freaking time. I have not made a video, pretty much in my bed sick, and I finally am able to talk. If I sound funny, my apologies. I'm still have a little sniff over here, sniff over there. But anyhow, and I haven't made the update video for Vivian because no footage at all. Like nobody, like no one has even offered or wants to give me footage for this one. And we'll talk about that in a second. But let's talk about good old Francine. When Francine was released, I saw her so useless that I simply told you not to get her at all. But after time passed, I realized that her at +1 at least, she's a decent hero, especially if it's on defense. And there's a lot of nice combinations with her in that situation, especially with Grusha. Francine is an absolute monster, eliminating anything that is yellow, and Grusha turns enemies into yellow, so that's a match made in heaven. And there's other combinations there. She is not like a must-have hero. She's not like super crazy, super broken, but there's a really good combinations, and especially on defense, and I've seen on the attack as well. She's a very good hero overall, but her sweet spot is definitely her +1. Adding all that for 100%, that's really powerful stuff, guys, for sure. If +0, she's not so good, so I can't really recommend it. The +3, probably a very good idea if you want to have her on defense. But this one is actually the one that gives her the most, because she's going to go off the most, because she's going to get back the mana, and also going to remove the pretty much the stuns and all that stuff and silence. And this is really valuable right now in this meta, because all these heroes that do silence is so freaking annoying. It's not even funny. So yeah, highly recommended if you really want to match her out. That's definitely useful. But if you want to use her, you have to use her at +1. So she's a decent hero to have. Very powerful combinations, but you have to be careful. If you make a defense team that actually attracts yellow teams, this is an excellent option for sure. Now for our next option, Rafael. Everybody knows how much I love Rafael. Besides the fact that she's the only shield breaker in the entire freaking game for yellow. If I'm not mistaken. Don't correct me. She's able to break shields. She's able to suck mana from purples, by the way. That's something a lot of people forget when they actually attack. They see a bunch of yellows, they attack with purple, and they regret it later. Every single freaking time. And by the way, she also has the ability to actually do prevention from stuns and all that good stuff, and silence. So that's really useful in this meta as well, as I said before. Specifically, you don't need to get her higher than +1. At +0, she does do her job. Her main job is to break shields. You break the shields and then you pour in all the damage at that single freaking target. That's the main reason why you're going to use Rafael. However, at +1, that does add the ability to actually prevent damage from skills by 30%. So once you get her to +1, you can combine her with other heroes. You can combine her with a +5 Arthur, or with a C1 with +0. That's gonna stack that prevention. So at defense, that's gonna lower the damage dealt by a lot, and that's gonna be very annoying to take down. Very powerful combinations, and only with +1. That's what I like about her. Her +3 is, honestly, it doesn't really change much, because you do gain a little bit of, somewhat a good amount of mana once your life actually goes lower and all that good stuff, but it's not something that's gonna make you go crazy about. But the +5, on the other hand, you'll be able to revive by 100%, that like every single revival here in the entire freaking game. But this is useful in yellow for sure. And after casting removes pretty much the exact same ability from the other. Literally, we got three 5-stars that do the exact same thing at +5, which is awesome. Well, actually, two heroes actually do that, which is really important to have in the meta there. So now let's talk about Vivian. As I said, I haven't done an update video. Besides, I'm sick. I don't have footage for her yet. But I will tell you right now, if you're going to bring her in, most likely is going to be as the shield breaker. That's the main thing as well. Very similar to Rafael. The difference is the purple already has another shield breaker, and it's a shield breaker that every purple team uses. So that's going to be Artemis. So yeah, and both of them are slow, and Artemis is going to gain the mana faster when she actually counterattacks. So yeah, it's a coin toss. But I'm gonna go more for Artemis because Artemis is a realm user. This hero is not a realm user in this case. And when you actually put her on defense, I've seen a lot of people putting her on defense for the entire time she has been available. And I always see them removing her. They remove her over and over and over. It's like they don't like how she actually performs on defense. And I have to agree with that on that case, unless you put her on the left side and you have a Shadow Luke on your team. If you have a Shadow Luke on your team, she's going to go off over and over and over, and she is a lot more effective. And do remember that Shadow Luca is also from the same faction as her, and same background, by the way. So that's going to erase her dodge. So she's going to... So if you put like Percival, Luca and Vivian together, that's gonna pretty much if I'm not mistaken 20% dodge, if I'm not mistaken, in that case. So that's gonna stack with her own abilities for her skill and all that good stuff, because she's gonna get dodge in one of these in that situation. So that's gonna be 40% dodge plus, especially if you have her even higher. However, you're definitely gonna need this +1 because right off the bat turns in when the battle begins. So she's gonna straight off taunt in that situation. So I haven't seen a team that actually uses a taunt hero and her as well together. So that's a real shame, because that combination would have been really powerful in that situation. So, but until I see it, I can't really comment too much on it. So this +1 is by far the most. This is her sweet spot by far. Because when taking a fatal blow, it's pretty much she gets the +3 ability and a +1, and also gets the taunt right off the bat. So that is really powerful. I think I'm gonna get her +1. I actually have her +0 because I wanted to play around with it with another taunt hero. 2 taunt heroes taunting over and over and over and over again. So I really like that idea there. So the +3, I mean, reduces skill damage by 10%. I have a 10%, well, okay, by 5 times. And then skill damage by 3 turns for 5 times. Okay, that is a lot in that situation. So if you want her to actually do damage with the actual dodging, that could be a good option. I do remember that I fought one that is +5, and I did get a good amount of damage. I probably should have that. I'm probably going to do the update video. I do have that video there. Now for the +5, honestly, this 10%, if this was 25%, this would have been broken, but it's only 10%, so you're not going to see her go up as faster. When casting the skill, the reverse state taunts all enemies and increases the caster's dodge. Okay, this pretty much raises the dodge by 40%. In that case, instead of 20, it's got to be 40. So if you combine that with other heroes that are Idrith, this is useful. This is powerful in that case, in that situation. So yeah, that's really awesome in that case. If you really want to do an Idrith team, and we really need Luna to do more damage. I mean, they nerfed that poor hero there. But Vivian in general, I think her main use is going to be on the attack, breaking shields and removing like specific targets, like trying to shoot her over and over and over. It's protecting your team in that case. And on defense, if you choose a specific team, that's going to work with her in that situation. Outside of that, I haven't really seen a lot of uses with Vivian just yet. I'll have to talk about that another time. Now for the 4 stars, let's talk about Dana. I mean, I've talked about Dana before, actually many times. If you're free to play and you do not have this hero, let me show you real quick. Why not? Because then you're not gonna know if I tell you by the name. Valerie here. If you don't have Valerie is the only hero in the entire freaking game that cleanses and heals. So with Dana, in that case, she's going to be your cleanser and then you're gonna bring another hero for healing in that situation to actually combine that. If you don't have one of those abilities or both of those abilities in the fight when you're attacking, she is not gonna your purple team is not gonna be very successful. So you're gonna need Dana by the time you actually get Valerie. In other words, get Dana if you don't have Valerie in that case. She's a really awesome hero for a 4-star. Mina, as I said before, I really don't see any use for her. Even with her weapon awakened, she doesn't do a lot of damage. She makes a little bit. Yeah, she's very fast, but she doesn't do much, sadly. Now, Vita, I have never seen anybody use Vita. Defense is not something that many people go around. So, yeah, not recommended to get Vita. Dana again, huh? That is crazy. Somebody has to check the 4-stars. And Caitlyn is probably all the 4-star, the best healer in the entire freaking game for 4 stars. The best 4-star healer for purple in the entire freaking game. So if you put Caitlyn and Dana together, you'll be able to have that combination that I mentioned. Healing and cleansing on your own team, so that's really powerful. Highly recommend if you're free to play. If you don't use this combination or a similar combination, you are not going to be successful using purple. I promise you that. And Jack, I love his character design, but he is not a good hero. Not even for freaking greens, which he's designed to actually supposedly destroy. It's not going to be very useful. I've seen in very different ways. On the attack, on defense, he's completely useless, guys. Not recommended. Now, out of these 3 5-stars, which one is the #1 option that I recommend here? Well, guys, as I said before, I'm gonna go with Rafael. Rafael, what I like the most about Rafael, besides that she's the only shield breaker for yellow in the entire freaking game, is that you just have to get her at +0 and you're ready to go. If you get her own weapon, even better, because that weapon is gonna help her out, like getting the shields and getting the mana gain. She's a very powerful, very versatile hero. I've used her on +0. I use her at +5. I never stopped using her. She's very powerful, very useful. I mean, any yellow team would love to get this hero for sure, by far. Highly recommended to get Rafael for sure. Now, as option #2, believe it or not, between these 2 options, I'm going to go with the new hero this time around. I mean, Vivian, even though we don't really know how to use Vivian, and she just released and all that good stuff, I've seen enough to think that she's a decent hero, especially on the attack, because you do need to have a shield breaker. And if you don't have Artemis, or you want to use a second purple team, a lot of players that have purple as their main color usually are going to use a second purple team, then they're going to have problems with shields. But Vivian's going to come in and break those shields and actually open up and actually do the damage that you actually need there. And other combinations you can actually use for her for sure, with her own faction. Dodging, another taunter. I really want to get that. I'm going to have to make that footage myself. Most likely. Because yeah, that's really awesome. To have 2 taunters, one taunting and then she's taunting, another one taunting. It's a taunt fest pretty much at that time. Really nice. I really see her potential, but I haven't seen it yet. Very few brave souls out there. Oh my god, my head is spinning. I'm still a little dizzy from being sick, guys. Sorry. So last but not least, Francine. Francine, I dub you not a useless hero. You do have your uses, and they're very powerful in certain situations for sure. Especially with freaking Grusha, she is disgusting. In different situations, she does a lot of damage, especially versus yellows, and she's pretty annoying if you don't have immunity to actually stuns and things like that. So yeah, she's a decent hero. I won't say that she's completely useless. And something that I forgot to say, and she does do sick amounts of damage with Scene 1 move, the new red hero that gives 300 freaking % for normal attack. Well, 300% to this hero versus a yellow team is apocalyptic. So if you're using the purple team, you just add Scene 1 move there. She is disgusting. Yeah. Now she has, yes, very powerful combinations for sure, guys. Now, for the 4 stars, I mean, the options are pretty slim and obvious. Dane is the #1 option for the cleansing. and then Caitlyn for the healing. I mean, those are the only options here. Jack, Vita, Mina, all three. I don't actually even recommend you to get these. Just focus on Dana and Caitlyn there for sure, guys. Alright, guys, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, please leave in the comments and we'll talk about it. Alright, thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.